Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our very first actual episode to this new Cornellverse series, the return to the SWF. Our first actual show is here running tonight. Obviously, nothing pre-booked for this edition of the, this edition of the what? For this episode here. So yeah, this episode might be just a kind of a bit faster, simply because I do have a couple of segments in the show where it's like not really a segment where I have anything planned, just kind of like segments seeing how well people are gonna do when given the microphone and how well their promo segments will do. And even though I've run a couple of SWF saves in this new Cornellverse, people that have played TEW know that each save can be slightly different. You just get bad RNG sometimes. Sometimes people just, despite them working in other saves, their promos are just not good in this save. I've had that problem with Triple H specifically, oddly. A couple of saves, Triple H specifically would always blunder in promos, and then in other saves he would do really well. So yeah, that's just kind of me testing the waters here. So yeah, let's get into this episode of Supreme TV. We start off with a pre-show match. Just to really see how poorly Makutsi will do, and he won't do that terribly. Like a 51 isn't bad, especially on a pre-show, it's not bad, but it's like I don't like having a guy on the roster who I know is a solid talent, who I have to like protect while also not pushing him. So Makutsi's probably still going to be sent down to Dev, and it'll also free up a roster slot. For those of you that remember, in the introduction video I said cap of 50, no more, sometimes less, but no more than 50, and sending Makutsi to Dev would open up a slot for someone who I might actually be able to push. So yeah, 55, really once a month. We're going to pull up Makutsi for a pre-show match just to see if he's still in extremely poor form. The second he's not in poor form, we are going to call him up and actually start running angles with him. But for now, yeah, Makutsi is going to RIPW for anywhere from 3 months to 2 years. So we open the show. We open the new year with our World Heavyweight Champion Rocky Golden coming out, cutting a promo. Again, don't really have anything concrete planned for what these two men have to say. Just kind of seeing how well Eric Eisen will do in a promo. As for those of you that remember me saying it in the first episode, he is going to be our acting on-screen general manager. So basically the gist of this segment is Rocky wants a challenger because he doesn't have anyone specifically lined up yet, and Eric Eisen says, you know what, new year, new SWF. Throughout the show, we are going to have 4 qualifying matches where a face of SWF's main event card will take on a face of possibly the future of the main event card. We will see nobody is set in stone. It is going to be revealed throughout the show. The only people that Eric Eisen have in mind are Remo and Robbie Retro. So that is our first qualifying match. Oh, I didn't explain it thoroughly, did I? Basically, if you win your qualifying match, you get inserted into a fatal 4-way match at when Hell Freezes over, and whoever wins that fatal 4-way match at the pay-per-view will then challenge Rocky Golden at the following pay-per-view, which is Nothing to Lose. Again, these are the 4 matches. Since we only get 2 weeks of build technically on screen, I decided, hey, all 4 of these feuds had the pre-established storylines, so I think it's fair to pre-book their matches. The only pre-established storyline that I didn't pre-book a match was Rocky Golden's storyline. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, we have Eric Eisen's gimmick. Very good. Nice. So this got an 89. And Remo versus Robbie Retro did about as well as you'd expect. Remo did get an 83, which is fucking awesome because Remo is fucking awesome. Match goes 149. Remo beats Robbie Retro, and he's the first man to qualify into the Fatal 4-Way match at the pay-per-view. We then have a backstage segment where gist of it is Hollywood Brett Starr and Justin Sensitive are just kind of, well, Hollywood specifically is being as I put it here, a twat backstage, and he happens to piss off Angry Gilmore, and yeah, that's really all that needs to be said. Again, another one of these promos where I'm just kind of testing out how well people will be doing on the microphone. We then have a generic promo by Brandon James, C67. He usually gets 70s for me. So there you go. Brandon James and Chrissy Angel cut a promo on Brandon's opponent for the pay-per-view, Mikey Lau, where he kind of just says Mikey Lau is nothing compared to him. He has been running SWF for a long time now, at least a decade. I'm pretty sure he's been here since 2010. And Mikey Lau to him is relatively new, so Mikey Lau is going to fall victim to big money, Brandon James, at the pay-per-view. We then have a rubber match between High Flying Hawaiian and Paul Huntington. I assume this match is, you know, these two teams have been feuding, Fame and Money and Hawaiian Crush. So, you know, singles match because I didn't really have much else planned. Where High Flying Hawaiian, the challenger, not the champion, defeats Paul Huntington in 9:05 with a Pacific Crush. Since Brett Starr and Justin Sensitive were backstage getting, you know, having a quote-unquote interaction with Angry Gilmore, they were not out here to back up their boy, and that is why Paul Huntington lost, because it was an even matchup. High Flying had Akuma, Paul had Monty. He couldn't really gain an advantage with the numbers game, which the Rat Pack have loved to do in the past and are going to continue to do in the future. So there we go. We then have another promo where the heel and their manager talk about their face opponent at the pay-per-view. This time it's Spencer Spade doing as well as Brandon James did. So yeah, I guess that's good. He didn't do well without a script to follow. Maybe that's a one-off. Maybe he'll do better promos. Again, Spencer Spade's another guy who I usually have really good promos with, but you can't win every time. Yeah, we then have our second qualifying match where Steven Parker takes on Rogue, and once again, the face of SWF Past pick up the victory as Rogue defeats Steven Parker in 12:36. Match gets an 81. Pretty good. Nothing really to go off. Rogue was penalized for declining physical ability. And yeah, but he still got a 76, so I don't really care. He can decline all he wants. We then have a backstage angle where Unleashed Awesomeness and Joey Morgan, both of these men have found out that they will, by now in the show, the announcers have announced all of the qualifying matches, and Randy Unleashed will be taking on Valiant in the main event, and Joey Morgan will be taking on the Crippler. So Randy Unleashed tries to be a cocky dick to Joey Morgan, and it does not go well, as Joey Morgan, without even, like, doing anything physical, just kind of punks out all of the awesomeness with, like, you know, catchy insults, I guess. I don't know. Joey Morgan basically wins the confrontation, leaving Unleashed Awesomeness all kind of angry and slightly embarrassed. So Des Davids goes into Eric Eisen's office and begs for a qualifying match. He is trying to get out of his title match with Lenny Brown at the pay-per-view, and Eric Eisen says, "Hey man, should have came to me sooner, but all the spots are full." And I'm gonna be honest with you, Des, even if the spots weren't full, you gotta defend your title, my guy. All right, and Des leaves without getting what he wanted. We have our third of 4 qualifying matches where Joey Morgan takes on the Crippler, and the Crippler picks up the victory after a tombstone piledriver after Randy Unleashed gets some revenge in his eyes for, you know, an equal amount of revenge of getting embarrassed, as he cost Joey Morgan his spot in the Fatal 4-Way at the pay-per-view. Segment got an 81, and yeah, so continuing on, we have Adam Smasher. There he is. Dude, if you guys have not played SWF yet, Adam Smasher is a fucking cheat code. This guy is just something else. So basically, I kind of teased what I was going to be doing, or how I was going to book Adam Smasher in the introduction video, and I'll state it again. I am going to be sort of mimicking what the Lloyd, the TEW Dynasty writer, the Lloyd did in his SWF save, where Adam Smasher's just kind of a delusional guy. He thinks he's a superhero, and he is a complete asshole. He reads everything wrong, and he genuinely, like, has some sort of, like, his powers are all messed up or whatever. He thinks he is a superhero, and he is a supervillain, and he has gathered Domination, Avalanche, and Chill, who are not brainwashed, which is something I like to accidentally put Chris. I meant to put Kristen Pierce. I accidentally put Chrissy Angels. Just ignore that. They're not brainwashed. They're not delusional. They just want to get booked. So Adam Smasher is sitting here like, I have created this group of like-minded individuals where we will take down all the evil that is stuck here in the SWF. Me and my two sidekicks will extract all of the villainy here in this professional wrestling promotion, and we will make sure that good prevails once again. Avalanche and Chill and Kristen Pierce don't really say anything. Again, they're just here to get booked. They don't want to fucking get in the way of Adam Smasher. And segment gets an 85 because Adam Smasher is the man. And we have a match announcement right before our main event, where next week we will see Justin Sensitive take on Angry Gilmore. You know, not a match that's going to set the world on fire, but I'm trying to get in the habit of actually pre-booking for Supreme TVs, and basically when I do offline booking too, like pre-booking for Raws or Dynamites or whatever, I'm trying to get better at doing that. And it is now time for our main event, Randy Unleashed versus Valiant. And you know what? Joey Morgan's come to get some of his own revenge, as in the end, I did not know how to really like put this, but so I just added Joey Morgan at ringside. He's not just at ringside. Basically what Joey Morgan does is, like, this match goes 22-28. So at about like the 20-ish minute mark, Huey Cannonball and Jefferson Stardust are trying to help Randy Unleashed cheat, and Joey Morgan runs in through the crowd, takes them both out, and basically for the last 2.5 minutes of the match, it's a complete fair one-on-one, and without Joey Morgan, or without the awesomeness there to help him win, Randy Unleashed loses to Valiant, and the Fatal 4-Way is now in the books. We have it officially announced. It will be Rogue versus the Crippler versus Valiant versus Remo. #1 contenders match. So I kind of built it up as like a whole, ooh, we might see a new guy in the SWF climb the ladder, and no, we didn't. It's the same guys. All right. So that was the main event. Nice 84 there. And then to end the show, this was the first time we got the Franklin Fumair. It was pretty weak note, so you know. It's just maybe we just don't need him on. I was gonna like keep him on there so he could improve, but I started to think about it. Dwayne Fry's pretty young. Can I view my roster from here? No, I can't. But basically, Dwayne Fry, Emma Chase, and Anna Garcia are all fairly young. They're not all gonna like retire from the business anytime soon. We don't really need this Franklin guy, so I'm probably gonna take him off for the next Supreme TV, send him to RIPW, and just let his contract run out. We just don't need him. We don't need him. Maybe we'll bring him back if one of them retires prematurely and he improves at all. But like, if someone retires prematurely, there's better names out there that I could sign. So yeah, 82 for a just kind of generic brawl to end the show. And here we go, moment of truth time. For those of you that have played SWF, you will all understand how difficult it is to hit the storyline quota. And if you don't hit the storyline quota, it fucking tanks your rating. Oh, we did it! Hell yeah! We hit the storyline quota. That is nice. I actually, I'd say I have had about 5 saves with the SWF. I only hit the storyline, including this one, sorry. So I had 4 previous saves, all short saves that I didn't get too far in. But yeah, that's actually really nice because this is probably the second time I've actually hit that storyline quota. And, yeah, nice 85 there. Yeah, usually I just don't... I'm saying storyline quota, and I'm using slang in my head that makes sense, and I can understand how some of you might not understand what I'm talking about. So let me show you what I'm talking about real quick. This storyline quota of you need 5 storylines with 70 heat. So, yeah, usually I don't actually get that, and it's like, oh, SWF doesn't have enough interesting storylines, and it just fucking tanks your rating. It's kind of the most bullshit thing about TEW, is if you don't have, like, a very specific amount of storylines hitting a very specific number of heat, which can be a little too high sometimes, it just tanks your fucking show, which I think is stupid. So, yeah, pretty good episode. Christine, what the fuck did you do? Oh, right, feeling isolated. This is the thing that happens, is she doesn't have any friends, and she broke up with, like, 2 of the people backstage. So, yeah, she broke up with Huey Cannonball and Randy Bumful, so she's going to be getting hit with this, feeling isolated, which is a shame because she's actually a good promo. So, I'm going to have to remember to, try and get her some friends before... cool, I guess. Spencer Spade is a natural talker. I agree. Yeah, come on, man. Get ahead of the game. What was I saying? Oh, so I'm gonna have to try to meddle with some relationships for her, or else she might leave because that isolated backstage thing can really fuck with somebody's morale. And did we beat TCW? I hope we did. We got an 85. I hope we beat TCW. Oh, what the fuck is that? What? On what fucking planet does Wolf Hawkins versus One Man Army get a fucking 95? Dude, if I ran that, I'd get a 40. Fucking One Man Army. Are you kidding me? Fucking One Man. What kind of... Are you fucking... Suck my dick, TCW. Fuck off with... Oh my fucking god. Oh. Let's see if we beat... Well, let's go another day. I want to see if I can beat USPW. Oh my god. Fucking Wolf. We gotta poach Wolf again. We gotta poach Wolf Hawkins again. We destroyed USPW. USPW in the mud. USPW in the mud. Damn, it feels good to be hashtag Supreme. Damn, it feels good to be hashtag Supreme. Like, no joke. Alright. What was their main event? Rich Money defeated for the world title, really? I would rather watch that than fucking One Man Army. I'm sorry. Okay, now how the fuck did Atlas get in a fucking 86 rated match? In what universe? In what universe? What fucking Doctor Strange timeline did I fall into where One Man Army and Atlas got put in blue man? On that note, we're gonna wrap up this episode of the Return to SWF. So yeah, that was fun. I'm really excited for this series. It doesn't sound like it. That's just because I got up really early and I'm coming off of 2 energy drinks from work, so you know, kind of tired. But I'm really excited for this new series. Dave was a lot of fun, even though I took a lot of breaks from it because it got really stagnating through the middle. So, but yeah, it's good to refresh in the Cornellverse, get something new in there. And I hope you all enjoyed this episode of the Return to the SWF, and I hope you all return for episode number... I don't know how I'm going to number them yet. Either 2 or 3. The second actual show, possibly labeled number 2 in the title. It might be labeled number 3. I don't know. Have a great day.